Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike from Sick Psyche. It's been far too long that we've gotten anything out, and with this year being our first creating content, we've got a lot more to learn. Both Will and I have extremely busy schedules that require a lot of travel and young families that deserve our attention. So we've had to take some time away from creating content over this very busy summer. But that doesn't change the time and energy we both still enjoy putting into the hobby. Demanding schedules can really take away from anyone's ability to enjoy the hobby. It can take away from your routine maintenance schedule, which can directly impact your water quality in terms of both clarity and parameters, and sometimes affect the overall health of the fish. Recently, I had exactly that happen to me. I had just come off a week-long work trip. I noticed after 2 days of feeding all of my aquariums that my true parrot was just not eating. I also saw what I thought to be mucus coming from its mouth. That prompted me to investigate. It didn't take much time at all for me to realize that my FX6 on my 125-gallon South American tank had completely failed. My Oscar loves for the right side of my tank to be completely bare. I've tried over and over to rescape the aquarium, but each time he moves all the sand back to the other side. He's done this for months, and I thought I had placed the intake filter high enough above the substrate to avoid any sand being sucked into the filter. But man, was I wrong. This FX6 had about a half pound of sand at the bottom of it, and my best guess is that it had stopped working for a few days while I was on travel. Fortunately, I do have an FX4 as a secondary filter on the aquarium, so I didn't lose any fish. But it did have terrible effects on my water quality, which I believe allowed for my true parrot to get really sick. In the research that I did, this mucus coming from its mouth was most likely a fungal infection. So I set up my 20-gallon hospital tank located right next to my 40-gallon community that has two 40-gallon sponge filters. I've got it set up this way so that I can set up a hospital tank immediately for circumstances just like this. Once the 20-gallon had completely finished filling, I dosed the tank with API Pimafix, Seacom Stress Guard, and API Aquarium Salt appropriately. I then removed the true parrot and placed him into the hospital tank. Unfortunately for me, I did not get to stick around to see how the treatment would work. Early, the very next morning, I was on the road again, headed to Orlando, Florida for my 9-year-old son's AAU basketball tournament at the ESPN Worldwide Sports Complex. We had a great time down there, and I'm truly blessed to have a lot of family in my life because while I was away, my brother-in-law continued to feed all of my aquariums and tend to the sick true parrot, making sure that his tank got dosed with the Pimafix daily. The morning after we got back home, I went around the house checking on each aquarium for any casualties and overall appearance of the fish. My brother-in-law did such a great job in taking care of the fish, and the true parrot, although he hadn't fully healed, was obviously recovering nicely. He looks great, and he's eating again, which are very encouraging signs. As of now, he's still in the 20-gallon recovering, and I plan on leaving him in there for at least another month to ensure that he's fully healed before I place him back into the 125. This will make sure that any infection that he did have is long gone before I put him around the other fish. These are the types of scenarios that we love to share. It's part of the hobby, and although it may not be the most glamorous part, it is something that we embrace. If you have any situations that are relatable, questions, or comments, leave them in the comments section below, as we love to hear all the feedback. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and until next time, be safe.